Good evening and welcome to Estuary TV News. In tonight's show, I'm joined by the multi-talented singer, actress and writer Nina Christopherson as she brings her one-woman show, Billie Holiday Story, to Grimsby, and Richard York has the latest sports news. But first, here's James Dunn with the news headlines.
Hello, in the headlines today, a fundraiser gets the British Empire Medal for his work with a local charity. And if you're into hats, we've got just the thing for you. A local fundraiser has been given royal recognition. Brian Marsh has been awarded the British Empire Medal for his support and fundraising efforts as chairman to the trustees for the Humberston Park Special School. He was presented the medal by the Lord Lieutenant of Lincolnshire, Tony Worth, and said it's a fantastic honour, but none of it would have been possible without the support of all at the school.
Yes, it's quite moving really, and it's a great award. Sometimes I feel a little guilty that a lot of people have put as much effort in, and of course raising the money. My wife Betty in particular, she's done just as much as I have, and she first introduced me to the hydrotherapy pool charity appeal.
A high-wire facility in North East Lincolnshire has been given a new lease of life as it comes out of storage. It was originally located behind Trin Youth Centre in Cleethorpes, but was eventually put away after residents complained the facility, which overlooked gardens, invaded their privacy. But it's now back up and running at the Oasis Academy, Wintringham, and it's hoped it will be enjoyed not only by the pupils but by the whole community.
Everybody that's gone on it so far has been challenged. You can tell that they come across them and they're up for a sort of a challenge, but then suddenly realise how high it is, and that's when they kick in and the sort of adrenaline starts going. But you can hear how much people are enjoying it by the laughs and fun and giggles that people are doing when they come off it.
Is it quite scary?
Yeah. Because you get to the top, you're climbing on the ladder and you're like, oh, it's just going to be good. But then when you look at the actual pole, it's very scary.
It's really scary when you're actually up there looking down. It's like...
There will be a referendum to find out what East Riding residents think of Hull's plans to extend the city into their boundaries. All 62 East Riding councillors voted against Hull plans to expand this week, and 71,000 residents will be asked their views via post. Drivers who are planning an epic journey to all the thankful villages in Britain to raise money for the Royal British Legion have unveiled their vehicle. The MG will visit the few villages where every single man returned from the Great War alive as we commemorate the centenary of the breakout of World War I. They set off in June, and Estuary TV will be following their progress.
But yeah, the plan's going well, the route's coming out quite nicely. We've now getting some... We're getting contacted from around the UK, from people who want us to, when we get there, and want to meet up with us when we get to the various places. We're going to be spending time at Silverstone for MG90 this year. We're really looking excited for that. And also we've got some other surprises along the way that are going to be quite interesting, really.
Air pollution levels are believed to have returned to normal after record highs on Monday. Caused by Saharan dust, the air quality in North East Lincolnshire peaked at 10 on the National Air Quality Index earlier this week. It's the highest point on the scale, meaning the lowest air quality. But by Tuesday, it had dropped to 6 and was 3 by Thursday. The air quality is usually a 1 or a 2 and is expected to have returned now to those levels. Nathan Veer, North East Lincolnshire Council's Service Manager for the Environment, said pollution is well below National Air Quality Standards requirements. The latest series of the BBC Neighbourhood Blues will feature neighbourhood policing teams in Humberside. The show, produced by Raw Cut TV, will follow local police teams in Cleethorpes and Immingham as they tackle crime and antisocial behaviour. The crews will film officers in action next week as they work to keep their communities safe. A selection of hats is the focus of a new exhibition at Louth Museum. The unique collection of headwear was worn by former Mayoress Mary Coupleditch, whose husband George was mayor on 2 occasions in the late 70s and early 80s.
Well, Mrs Coupleditch's hats were given to the museum back in 2005 while it was being refurbished. And they've really sat in a cupboard for quite a long time. We've had half a dozen out on display in one of the main galleries, and they've not been very interesting. But I sort of got this feeling that there was a lot more to it. So I went and had a look at the hats, and I thought we could make an exhibition of this. So the museum have been very supportive about this, the rest of the volunteers. And that's what we decided to do. We decided to go with it. We've got 60 hats on display. And And Mary Coupleditch, I don't know where she kept them all or where her daughter kept them all, but I rather suspect her daughter was pleased to be rid of them because they do take up a lot of space.
And that exhibition runs until April the 26th. That's all from me. I'll see you next time.
The show has been described as a must-see and a tour de force for classical actor Nina Christopherson. Nina's Billie Holiday Story is coming to Grimsby Auditorium as part of a UK tour. Hello Nina, how are you today?
I'm very good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good, thank you. This must be so exciting.
Oh, I can't tell you. It's been amazing. I'm really excited to come to Grimsby. I've heard so much about the town and the people, and I've had a wonderful reception before, and I'm looking forward to seeing everyone in the audience and meeting everyone, you know, after the show.
And this show has had incredible reviews, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. It's had 5-star reviews and we've sold out everywhere, and it's just been phenomenal. The reception, people have been really warm, really receptive. Audiences have crossed over from the young to the old, you know, and it's just been wonderful. You've got youngsters bringing their grandparents because they know the music, they love it, they've grown up with it, and it's just been phenomenal. I've just been blown away.
And it started at the Edinburgh Festival, didn't it?
It did, 2011. We did Dance Ballet, Assembly Rooms, which wonderful reception again. And word of mouth got round, and before I knew it, I'd sold out, and people were just coming all dressed up, gardenias and flowers in their hair. Yeah, wonderful, you know, just a wonderful movement for the show.
And do you think for emerging performers, Edinburgh Festival is a fantastic opportunity to kind of put some of your work out there to see what response it gets?
Definitely. It's like a stomping ground for beginners and for the experience. Just about anybody who has got anything just to show, you should take it to Edinburgh if you can, just to get a really good response, to see what, you know, if it's working, what you need to change, and you know, it just gives you a good start to pushing your product, your show, your baby out there to everyone. Yeah.
Because that's the thing, it is your baby, isn't it? Because you've done the writing, you've done absolutely everything, haven't you, from the beginning?
I have. I mean, I was really inspired by Billie Holiday, and I wanted to put her on the page, and I wanted to sort of give her a voice, although she already has a voice. But when I say a voice, just remind people of how good she is, how, you know, basically how much influence she has on modern music and old music. I mean, she was a queen of pop, you know. People have said, you know, Lady Gaga, you know, she was that at her time. And pretty much, you know, you have so many great singers who really copy and love Billie Holiday. And I just wanted to remind people of who she was, and just to introduce her to a younger audience, and so everyone could sort of embrace her and celebrate the iconic figure that is Lady Day, Billie Holiday.
And she was a real character, wasn't she? And parts of her life were quite traumatic, weren't they?
Very traumatic. I mean, she's been through rape, alcoholism, drug abuse, just about everything has been thrown at her, and she's managed to survive at that time. And she made so many recordings, and she was celebrated and loved for her music and her voice, and you know, she was given a platform and she rose to that, and she loved the drama of everything, but she did have a tumultuous upbringing from a very young age. So I'm really surprised that she has done so much. When I look back on her background, and when I was doing all the research and everything, you're just blown away by the person she was, and basically to have such a strong woman, to have gone through so much and to sort of leave such a legacy behind, you know, that we now still can identify with. I think that's amazing. I think that's amazing that she touches people with her voice. Her music now still lives on, and I feel honoured to be part of that. I think I'm really lucky.
And how hard was it, or easy was it to encapsulate all of that and put it on the page?
Really? Very hard. What can I say? I like to say it was a walk in the park, but that wouldn't be true.
Did it take a long time to write? Was it quite a creative process? Did it take a couple of attempts, was it? Or
yeah, quite a few attempts really. And I had a few friends that I would write it, and then I'd say, look, take a look, what do you think? And they would say, oh, I like this bit, maybe embellish this bit a bit more, and I'd be, oh yeah, I get what you mean. And then I would go back to drawing board and just make it breathe a little bit more in a different way, and just flush out bits of her character a little bit more, and make sure it was really an emotional journey that she was going on, that in turn would bring the audience on and make them embrace her in that way. So it was a lot of research, constant research. I think I've got all her books, all her music, and do I know everything about Billie Holiday? No, I don't, because there's so many things that are conflicting. You think you know everything, and you don't. And it's like the idea that whoever knows anything about everybody. We don't, do we? We think we do. We know what we present, or what that person presents, and that's what we get to understand. But it was wonderful doing the research. I love all that, and putting it on the table, so to speak, and getting her on stage has been absolutely amazing. And the support, the band, I'm really lucky.
So they're coming onto the band, so what can people expect when they see the show?
It's a one-woman show, but she's backed up by a 5-piece band.
Wow.
And we have people like Alan Rogers, who does a Strictly Confidential tour, so, you know, Strictly Come Dancing. He does all those arena tours, and he's phenomenal. He's played with people like Bono, U2, Catherine Jenkins, so from the classical to the rock, to the pop, to Lady Gaga herself as well. And we have I know, it's amazing. We have Martin Shaw on trumpet, and he's a world-class trumpeter, and he tours around playing, and he's a professor of music as well. And we have wonderful Phil Donnelly on double bass, blinding, and Albert Garza, wonderful guy again, and he's playing tenor sax and clarinet, and he's phenomenal as an artist himself. And of course, I can't leave out Elliot Henshaw, and who's just joined the team, and he's amazing. He's our he's our new drummer, and he plays a lot with a lot of big bands. So if people know anything about big bands, to hear his name, they'll actually think, oh yeah, we know him, and he's amazing. Yeah.
And we're just running out of time, Nina, but this will be on at the Grimsby Auditorium. Is it on the 16th, is it?
I think so. It's on the 16th. Yeah.
Yes, it is. It's on the 16th. So do you know what? I look forward to seeing it then, and it was a pleasure to meet you. Thank you.
Lovely talking to you. Thank you so much.
Now here's Richard York with the sport.
Thank you, Erica. Now here's the sport news and a look to the weekend's games. In football, Hull City will face Swansea, looking for a win to take them a step closer to securing their place in the Premiership next season. Scunthorpe United are making the long journey to Torquay as they hope to continue their record-breaking run of 24 games unbeaten in the Sky Bet League 2. Grimsby Town head to Kidderminster, looking for their 3rd away win in succession and their 4th in the last 5 games. Lincoln City will be without top scorer Ben Tomlinson, who is still suspended. The Imps will be looking to his fellow team members to push them to victory against Dartford at home this weekend. North Ferriby's position at the top of the Conference North has been made that little bit safer thanks to the surprise 6-1 defeat of AFC Telford to Guiseley. North Ferriby will be looking to pull further away from the pack as they face Stockport County at Church Road this weekend. And Cleethorpes Town will meet mid-table Selby Town, with the knowledge that a good result here could see them reclaim the top spot in the Northern Counties East Division 1. After a humiliating 13-0 defeat midweek against Shore Lane Aquaforce, Grimsby Borough will be heading to Knaresborough. Grimsby will be hoping the defeat won't have a lasting effect for the remaining 3 games of the season. And Louth Town will face AFC Emley. In the Evo Stick Northern Premier First Division, Brigg Town face bottom of the table Bedworth United. In rugby, Grimsby host Mellish and Midlands 3 East at Springfield Road. Cleethorpes will travel to Worksop in Midlands 4, and Market Raisin and Louth are away against Kettering First. And finally in ice hockey, the Hull Stingrays lost 3-2 to the Giants. And that was the sport news, and now back to you, Erica.
Well, I'm afraid that's all we have time for today, but I'll be back at the same time tomorrow. And don't forget, if you have any stories that you would like to share with us, you can get in touch by phone on Grimsby 315561, on Facebook or Twitter at Estuary TV, or email us on news@estuary.tv. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.